G'day everybody, Steve from Ducks 4 Drive Touring. Hope everybody's well. Today's video is about scan gauges that we have fitted to our cars. Now, obviously they're an accessory. Why do we fit scan gauges? Well, the obvious one is to clear fault codes that your vehicle may throw up. Also, most of them give you an accessory set of gauges so you can actually look at what's going on with your engine while you're driving. Anyway, I've had a scan gauge in the Ranger for a while. The thing has died. It was an EDS brand one. Now, it was been a good gauge, but it's only cheapy. So anyway, it died. It just stopped playing the game. So I've recently purchased an Ultragauge. I'll give you a look at that one in just a moment. From our rugged north to the beautiful south to the centre, east, west, doesn't matter where, for four-wheel drive tips and tricks and travel and information, you have come to the right place. Come for a ride with us at Mud Ducks 4-wheel drive touring. Alrighty, the Ultragauge. That's the box it comes in. So I don't normally do unboxings, but on this occasion I thought I'd get it out and give you a look at it. What's it got in there? It's got my receipt, some other paraphernalia, some paperwork. This is an accessory. That is a windscreen mount for the unit itself. That, I'm sure, is the gauge and all its associated bits, and a couple of stickers. So we'll read the paraphernalia shortly, but let's get the gauge out. Now, most people are aware that, it's a bit windy today, guys. I hope it's not coming out on the audio too much. As most people are aware, actually, I might just leave it in there. Scan gauges plug into your OBD2 ports. So if your car's got an OBD2, it just plugs in there. So that's the basic unit just there. I'll pull out the plastic in a sec. And here's the optional extra windscreen mount. I'm sure I haven't got any gear to open any plastic bags here. Bit silly really, isn't it? Anyway, that's the windscreen mount there, suction cup, usual things you'd find. I decided to go for windscreen mount on this occasion because the old one I had on top of the steering column, but this is a different shape to that, and I just thought it might look nicer if it was above the dash. Also, I find that on top of the steering column, actually it's getting in the field of view of some of my other gauges, so I figured the steering column would be a better spot. Now it's the unit there. I don't know which way up it goes, guys. I'll know that shortly. But it fits in this holder here, which looks like it comes off the backing, and then you set it up in on there. Anyway, we'll get this in the car and give you a squiz when we get in there. It's probably good to know, before I get further into it, that this is what they supply you for instructions. It's just a bunch of QR codes for you to scan with your phone It's also got the website addresses if you want to have a look on the computer as to the actual instructions for it. So your setup guide, how to program, product support. So I'll be doing that shortly. But yeah, that's how you're getting instructions these days rather than big pamphlets as to what you do. All right, we'll get back to this. All right, just for the next stage, just show you what I've done. I've pulled this panel out here, which is easy, it just clips out. I've just tucked the wire in behind that, so you've only got a little bit of wire exposed there. And coming down from that, I've just taken the fuse panel cover off, and you can see that's the wire coming in there. Now here's your OBD 2 port, just here, the white one. Now I just put it back in position, but I've realised that you can't plug into that port when you've got the fuse box cover on. Now I had it disconnected from where it actually sits before for that reason, because I had the other scan gauge in there, so I plugged it back in stupidly, and now I'm going to have to unplug it again, and it's just going to sit behind there out of the way, zip tied up. So we'll get to that and we'll show you some more as we go. All right, the next thing I've done is I've just tidied that up. So what I've done is I've zip tied the ABD reader to the bottom where it used to be plugged in or pushed in into its mount. And I've run all its cabling up in here and zip tied all that. And it's just in behind this panel. It can't go anywhere, it doesn't bother anything. Now unfortunately after a few years my throttle controller's decided the tape's going to let go. It normally lives up there, so anyway, it's been in there since I've owned the car, so it's 5 years. So I'll just retape that later. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. So that's just in the fuse panel there. That's where the reader's supposed to be. But like I said earlier, if you have the ABD there and you try to plug into it, it gets in the way. So realistically, it's just a matter of push your panel back together and it's basically out of sight, with the exception of that cable. Now, I think we all have to accept that when you're fitting accessories up, sometimes you're going to have errant cables. We'll fire it up and have a look at the instructions and see what we've got to do there. All right, I've fired up the car and I've made the buttons for menus are on the back. So I'm just looking through what I can find. So I'm not going to sit there and show you how everything works on that. I'll just work my way through it and show it to you when it's basically sort of up and going. So I'll get back to you shortly. But I've just scanned on the phone to try and look at the manuals, and my phone's screen's a bit small, a bit hard to look at, so I may still have to go inside and look on the computer. Anyway, I'll give you a look when I've got more to show you. All right, this is going to take a lot more learning. Hope you can see that, okay. Got a bit of reflection coming in from somewhere. Not sure what that is reflecting there, sorry guys. Anyway, what I've got displayed there, I'll shut the door, see if that helps you. May or may not. You're getting reflection off the glass or something. Sorry guys. What I've got there is I've got engine temperature at 60 or 50 degrees. That's the revs at the moment. That's supposed to be the intake temperature. And I think that's the transmission temperature. There's a lot of settings on this thing, plenty of them. And I'm going to be playing with all of them as we go. But, and you can have more displays in it. I've only got the 4 set up at the moment. But it's just a matter of trial and error, guys. So I'm going to fiddle around with it and see what I can come up with and give you another look at the end. I also forgot to tell you before, guys, while I'm sitting in here, I bought this gauge myself. There's no affiliation of Ultragauge or anything to do with it. It was purely and simply a choice for me as an alternative to the previous scan gauge. Now it seems to have lots and lots of gauges available, so it's going to take me a while to work it out, guys. So I may follow this video up in 6 months or 12 months and give you a bit of a rundown on how I'm finding it. But for the time being, I think it's going to do what I want. I'll give you a look at it while we're driving at some stage. I don't even know how I'm going to mount a camera for that to happen, guys, but we'll work that out. And I'll be back to you in a little while. I'm going to fiddle with it for a while, so I won't film. And we'll talk to you soon. Just thought I'd show you by way of a size comparison. That's the old EDS. Admittedly, it's mounted on a bit of timber, but it used to sit on the steering column. And that's the Ultragauge. So it's a bit smaller, actually. That's where I used to have that sort of sitting down there. Wasn't bad. That's why the bit of timber's on it to lift it up a little bit, but I kind of like this here. Anyway, I've just switched it all off, so everything's out. But I'm trying to work out how to mount a camera for you for while I'm driving, guys. So we'll be doing that, and we'll get back to you shortly. Alright guys, well, I've managed to find a camera position, so I don't know how exciting that's going to be. I'm going for a quick drive to do my recycling, but I'll have a look at what the gauge is doing while I'm doing that. So yeah, got alarm whilst empty. I haven't even set that yet. Obviously I'll have to figure that one out. Anyway, that's just one of those things we learn all that stuff. Anyway, you would have seen that alarm whilst empty. So yeah. Anyway, as you can see on the screen, sorry about the LED flicker, guys. I'm really going to have to figure that out. Can't have to down to suspend the alarm. Maybe next time. Have to figure that one out though, so we can get rid of that. But anyway, as you can see on the screen, we've got engine temps at 69 degrees. That's pretty sure that's the coolant temperature itself. Voltage is at 13.28. Intake temperature is pretty warm at 35. It's pretty warm outside. And transmission's at 40 degrees. So we'll see what else comes of that as we go along. But anyway, it's all a learning curve, guys. So I got no idea what should be what. Especially about those miles to empty. I'm going to have to figure those out, as I don't want it alarming that for no reason. But anyhow, that's the display on the data ports that coming out there, as you can see. So it's pretty cool. It's got several pages. You got to reach around behind it. There's buttons on the back, on the right hand side as we look at it. There's one at the top, one at the bottom, and you can change your pages. Now, I don't think I'd be doing that very often, because realistically, where I've got that mounted, to reach those buttons down here, I mean, I can do it while I'm driving, but it's a bit of a pest. So I think I'll just leave my main display with the gauges I really want, and then if I really want to check the other stuff, I'll scroll through it as I go. But at this point, I think I'll just leave the main display set up. I may change what's on the main display, but I've wanted the transmission temperature for a while, so I'm pretty sure but that's the trans temp on the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to go on the website and sit on the computer later on and read it all properly on a bigger screen, but for the time being, that's where we're at. So I'll go and drop this recycling, and then I'll come back and just give you another look at it as I'm driving. Possibly I'll go for a little bit longer drive just to head home the longer way, just so you can have a bit more of a look at it. And I tell you what, if you could see exactly how the camera's mounted for you to see that, you'd be sort of laughing at me. It's actually moving more than I wanted it to, but hopefully the stabilisation of the Hero 8 is looking after you and doesn't look too bad. Alright, that'll do for now. I can only cruise along at 50, I'm in a 50 zone, so I'll get back to you guys a little bit later on after I've done this recycling, go for a cruise and see if we can get up to a 100 zone or something and show you what that looks like. But so far, I'm liking the display and the ability to see what I want to see. So that's pretty cool. Alright guys, so I will catch you just a little while later. when I've got all this done. Right, I've been off and done the recycling, which is not what you guys are interested in. But now I'm going for a little drive down the highway. I'm allowed to do that. I'm still in my LGA. So we're still in lockdown, by the way. By the time you see this video, we may no longer be in lockdown, but we are at the moment. So we're still stuck travelling within our own LGAs and so on. But anyhow, that's how it goes. So that's why I've been doing this series of videos that have been reviews and gear and stuff, guys. It's not that I don't want to get out and do more camping videos for you, I really do, but they haven't been allowed. That's unfortunately just the way it is. Anyway, but one of those things. Alright, so I'm just coming out onto a bit of road where I'm allowed to go a little bit faster than 50 or 60. So you should be able to do 70 and then 80 down here, so that'll be okay. I'll do a little bit of a lap for you. Anyway, you're not going to want to be listening to me rabbit on for the whole time, but just gives you an idea of what's happening with the gauge. I'm kind of liking the Ultragauge at the moment. Like I said, I might change those displays to something else. Well, just at the moment, over the forward seem to make the sense to me. So I've got intake temperature in degrees Celsius, which says it's 26. Engine degrees is 87. That reminds me of, turn that off, guys, sorry about that, of what the EDS used to say. The EDS used to say the coolant temperature in a day like this was about 87, 88, so that's about right. Voltage is obvious at 13.28. And I've got to double check, but I'm hoping that's transmission temperature. TRN, I'd say, would be transmission. Now, I've never been able to monitor the transmission temperature on the Ranger before, so I'm pretty stoked to be able to do that. Ultragauges, unlike the other scan gauges that I've seen on the market, are vehicle specific. So when you tell them that you've got a Ranger, they send you one for a Ranger. If you tell them if you've got a 200, they send you one for a 200 and so on. So I'm assuming they program them up differently for your different cars. Because every other scan gauge I've seen, like the scan gauge and the EDS, it just plugs in. So you just bung it into your OBD2 port, and away you go, and it will read what it can. Now, not all of them will give you transmission temperature and so on, so that's just unfortunately how they are. But that's one of the reasons I picked this one. It was between this and the scan gauge too, guys. I thought this looked a bit cooler, so I thought I'd go with it. Anyways, you probably don't want to see me rabbiting on or listen to me rabbiting on too much, so I'm just going to creep past this old Valiant that's not doing 80 and get onto another bit of road, and I'll give you a look at it when I go a bit quicker. But it's very difficult, as I said, to push the menus, but I'll give it a quick go here while I'm on a straight bit of road. That's page 1. Got to hold it. Page 2. Now I've got revs, I've got fuel level. It's doing me speedo reading. It says I'm doing 73, so that would be correct because the speedo's out on this car with the 33s. And I don't know, I think that's barometric pressure, but I don't know. Page 3, I've got ambient air temperature, which is 24, charge temperature at 28, so the intercooler's doing a good job, I'm guessing. Instant litres per 100 k's is the bottom right hand one, and the boost pressure is the bottom left hand one. So when I nail it, it boosts up to close to 20. I've never had boost pressure before, so I might put that in the main one too. We'll fiddle with that as we go. I don't think I programmed anything after page 4. No. And you have to scroll through them all. I think there's 8 pages to get your back to page 1. Anyway, so like I said, I'll probably change what that's reading or what that's displaying on the main page later on. But anyhow, I'll stop rabbiting on and annoying you, and I will give you a look at it on a faster bit of road. And if I don't get to a faster bit of road, then I probably won't. That's fairly obvious, isn't it? I'm just on a 100k section now. It's not very long. I'll just see if there's any major differences. The engine temperature hasn't really changed. It's at 89. Intake's still at 25. It is a warm day today. So I'm quite pleased with how this is displaying at the moment. So I don't know if there's too much more to tell you really, guys. I may just bail out on you, to be honest. So not a lot more to talk about. You know, you don't want to just be looking at the gauges there. You can't see past the gauge where I've got that camera, and you don't look at my mug for the whole time we're doing it, do we? So I might get out of here and leave you guys with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, put a like on it. Makes a world of difference to the channel. It helps YouTube's algorithm suggest my videos to more people. So if you really don't mind, throw a like on it, that'd be great. If you're new here and you like this stuff, consider subscribing. Check out all my other videos down below. There's plenty of them. See if you like that stuff too. If you do subscribe, click the notification bell. You'll know when any video comes up. Typically 5 AM Eastern time in Australia on a Sunday. Typically, but not always. And to the old hands, as always, guys, thanks for being there and taking the time out of your day to watch one of my clips. I really do appreciate the support. Feel free to comment, guys, too. I love reading the comments. All the best, guys. Cheers. Just remember, when you're not locked down, to get out there. I will catch you next time. You're still here. Why are you still here? It's the end.